I'm recording.
Okay, this is the Abraham Galarza x Jacob Uwe episode. So let's take it from here. Let's start.
Welcome, Abraham and Jacob. I'm so glad you guys are here today for this wonderful episode idea that you mentioned. So, you came to me with this idea about tragic flaws and how everyone as humans have it. So, can you just define to me what's a tragic flaw and why you wanted to bring it up today?
Sure. So the actual word fatal flaw comes from the Greek word hamartia, which translates to miss the mark, and it sometimes can be seen as hubris, a moral weakness, or, for example, like an error in judgment.
Mm-hmm.
So, why did you want to bring this up today to talk about?
I wanted to bring up fatal flaws because I feel like this should be a topic that should be more just spoken about at Loyola.
Are you discussing in like, being more open with each other at Loyola, like as students?
Precisely.
Oh, me? The fuck I want to. Yeah. So basically, I feel like in Loyola, a lot of us don't talk about our flaws. We have a game face on. If you remember that, we put on a persona of who we want to be, and because of that, we're ignoring it. And so I feel like that kind of ties into the idea of hubris, right? We become so indulgent in our persona as either a soccer player or a football player or some other player, right? But because of that, we don't recognize what flaws we have. And because of that, we eventually will fall, like Icarus did when he got his little wax wings and flew up to the sky.
So you're saying that we get so occupied in sports, in creating an image in like a performance image in sports as an athlete that we lose ourselves. Is that what you're saying?
To a degree, yes, we are doing that. But not only that, but we gain a sense of false confidence. We envision ourselves as somebody who we truly are not. And that goes against the entirety of what Loyola is, right?
Oh yeah, cura personalis.
Yeah, cura personalis. So I want to pass this off to my buddy Abraham. What else you got to say about this topic?
So I think maybe to build off what you said about hubris, I feel like another tragic flaw that one might have at Loyola is maybe being obsessive or maybe even vengeful. Like you're getting a tunnel vision, and all you want is just not you do not want what is the greater good. Like you're not following AMDG, ad majorem Dei gloriam.
Mm-hmm.
You know that well, do you, Abe?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, like, to say that, I feel like people in Loyola focus too much on, oh, I'm gonna get all the APs. I'll be such a good academic weapon, right? But they neglect the main purpose of what academics is.
That's why I don't call myself an academic weapon.
Yeah, school isn't about getting all the APs, getting all the cool chicks, getting all this indulgent stuff.
We obsess over the academics when we neglect the other aspects of our lives.
Yes, I definitely agree with that.
That's true.
Because as someone who went from having zero APs or honors freshman year to having almost all of them now, I definitely agree with that. How I was always like, yes, APs, 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 I need APs. And like, I never said that I'm an academic weapon, but a lot of us, just Loyola students in general, even if you're not taking all APs or honors, we're all like very academic. And that can lead to us, as you said, being very obsessive over a whole grade. Or like, for example, me, I have this very bad habit that after every period, I always check like my grades every hour. Or when I have my phone, the first thing I do when I wake up is check my grades. Even if it changes by like zero point 0.5, I like freak out, even if it goes up or down. And I realized that that takes away the joy of what I have within school and within classes because I'm thinking about more the grade than the learning itself.
Yeah, I mean that's really important because teachers often they emphasize learning. Like I was talking to Mrs. Utley the other day, and she was telling me that because I was asking her, will this guarantee that I'm going to get 100 on my exam if I do blank, blank, blank? And she said, well, it's not about getting 100 on the exam. It's about learning. And to that end, you cannot truly learn and have a thorough understanding of a subject if you're cramming the night before. That's just a specific example. I think that people often get into people often make the mistake of cramming, and so that knowledge is temporary. You're going to regurgitate it onto your exam. I mean, I'm sure all of you guys have had a similar experience with, right? Right?
With exams, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we just end up regurgitating those kind of.
I feel like one of my like flaws for myself is overconfidence to a degree. Like if I have an exam on like a math test, I think, oh, I'm gonna ace this, and then I get the quiz back, and I'm like, oh, I got a D minus. Cool. That's the hardest thing, and that to a degree kind of summons an imposter syndrome, right? Because I believe that I'm a smart kid, right? And because of that, I believe that I'll do fine if I don't study. But of course, naturally speaking, I got into that bad habit, right? This fatal flaw of overconfidence. And so I think for like those flaws, the biggest thing you have to do is, well, get some help, right? To get some wellness. And I think one of our guys on the team right now, Hugo Pacheco, you're on the wellness council. What do you have to say about this?
Well, first, before I mention the student council, I just want to say that I love your overconfidence.
Oh.
Even though it can be like a flaw sometimes, I just wish I was more like that. Well, not
okay.
just within school, but like within like life in general, because that's what I so appreciate about you as just like a friend in general. Like you're so overconfident and so, like honest about things, and like you just do your own thing. I'm like, I wish I was more like that. But like not saying that I don't do my own thing, but I'm always like afraid, or I have to overthink everything, but you just do it. And like you said, you got a D minus, but sometimes your overconfidence helps you in so many ways.
Mhm.
And that's why that's a big thing that I get along with you, because I look up to you in that aspect.
I didn't know.
Like honestly, I'm not even joking.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
I really like that about you. But to bring back up the student wellness part of just knowing your flaws isn't a bad thing. People think that if they acknowledge it, like it's gonna hurt them, but not acknowledging it is what truly like screws you in the end, because you're not learning how to grow from it, or learning how to work it into your own life.
I think maybe to add on to that point is maybe we are building pressure by holding things down. We should always look to find someone close to us that we can open up to, rather than just closing ourselves off and just letting that steam just keep building.
I think that's an important point. I like the idea, because I think the whole point that we're getting at in this episode is being more open with one another, with not controlling our feelings so much, and with not being so repressed in that. Wouldn't you agree, Abe?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, and I feel like repression kind of leads to a state of like apathy or lethargy, or in other words, laziness.
Oh.
And I feel like that is one of the biggest flaws of P-Man, just not doing anything. I think it's a seven deadly sin. It's sloth, right?
Ah.
And I feel like that kind of ties into another thing within society, is that people, in response to like sin or evil, they don't do anything, right? If you see a homeless man on the street who's begging for money, usually people say, oh, that guy's probably evil or bad or something, right?
Yeah, but they assume.
Yeah, they assume, right? But that's apathy, right? That's the sin. You're just ignoring a guy on the street who needs assistance, who needs money, who needs food. Sure, he can, maybe he buys some substance, but worst case scenario, just buy him like food, or like, like a little water or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to agree with that, because I think people, I don't think the correct excuse is, oh, he's just going to go buy drugs with the money. I think if you suspect that the person is going to buy drugs with that, then offer to buy them food. I mean, this has happened before, by the way. Me and my mother were outside this one fast food restaurant waiting in line, right? And so a homeless person was saying, oh, can I get $20, $20? And my mom said, no, but I will buy you a meal from this place and give it to you right now after I purchase it. And then the person refused, right? Because they were planning to buy drugs. But that doesn't mean that you assume every time.
Yeah.
Because it's happened another time. I remember that they were extremely grateful for the food. And so you went home, you had done something good that day, and you guaranteed, because they're not going to get high off of food. Nobody's reselling fast food, you know? You guarantee that.
You know, maybe that guy's Jesus. You don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely. But just to
Definitely Jesus.
Okay.
no, but like how you said, like just the testing of the trust that you have within just like people like itself, like seeing if you're gonna, give them that money that they ask for, have the kindness of your heart to be like, I can buy you a meal, of course, which is very evident and something that we should all be practicing.
Yeah.
But I'll pass it on to Abraham to bring up about the tragic flaws of society.
So, another point I would like to get into is how many people, not only at Loyola, but also maybe across the world and in society, one might see just blind followers. And I think that could be a tragic flaw in and of itself. You fully believe in a leader, that person that leads you, and you just believe everything they say, you follow their every whim. And I believe that is something that needs to be discussed as well. It should be the norm to question authority. And matter of fact, it's in the Constitution. It's in the Bill of Rights. You have the right to, and I believe you should, question authority. You should petition.
Right. I mean, America was founded on that very basis. It is a rebel nation. You cannot deny that America's foundations are deeply rooted in rebellion. That's a fact. I mean, I really like that point you brought up, Abe, about the. Sorry, what was it again? I liked it. I just forgot.
I like the sound of it. Yeah.
Like, sounds phenomenal.
Constitution, Bill of Rights.
Before that.
Blind trust.
Yeah,
mentality.
I really like that point. I mean, if we take, not to specifically attack Joel Osteen's practice of prosperity gospel, but there is a potential. Look, you can see certain negative implications of blind following in the world, because when you have a pastor here who's been accused of potentially smuggling, of stealing funds from the church, and that's not necessarily like an accusation, but
Yeah, so we're gonna cut that out. So pause. All right, new question.
Well, I want to bring up, if you're comfortable, before we continue on, do we want to discuss what we think our tragic flaws possibly could be within just our? I know Jacob brought up yours,
Yeah.
which I
for
counteracted that,
sharing.
which was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if Abraham, Suvir, or even myself, or Jacob wants to go in, just to be
Why don't we see if Hugo, you can guess my tragic flaw? Because I personally can't really. I'm not really 100%. I don't really understand this whole tragic flaw thing too well.
I think we all know the answer.
Okay. I think I would like it.
well, you want to hear from me.
Well, yeah, you were.
But
Okay.
before we proceed, I would like to say that sometimes we do need to be told by others our own tragic flaws.
Right.
Because maybe not in Suvir's case, but like sometimes you really don't know your own
Yeah.
flaws, and we do need to reflect on that. Like we need to know, what are we doing wrong? Like, how are we wronging others? How can we fix that? And by fixing that, do we help others as well?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that. So,
Yeah. Tell me.
Suvir? Well, I don't think you have many flaws. While people will not agree with me,
Okay.
I personally do not believe that. But one thing I will say is that when you work in, like, for example, within the podcast and within this club or whatnot, it's just you do a lot, you say a lot, but then you don't do, like, you don't get it done. You speak, but you don't act on what you say. Wait,
Yeah.
what are you saying?
Yeah. No, that's true.
Like, and there's nothing wrong. Like, you have to learn from that, of course. Like, when you're doing better, I'm 100% better.
Right.
But that's like something that, like, every day we bring up this episode, it's always like a big thing. is that you tell me so much to do and you're gonna do so much, but then at the end, like nothing gets done. Or if it does, it's always, done later or it takes longer. But that's just what I
Yeah.
observe.
Just all bark, no bite.
Okay, all right, Jacob.
You walk you don't talk. You don't walk when you talk.
Okay,
You don't talk. Talk.
and
You
I know
walk, walk.
I understand if we keep this going, Jacob is gonna bring up some giant extrapolation from Unferth and Beowulf. He's going to say I'm like Unferth who speaks and boasts but doesn't do anything. Look, I understand. Yeah, I do agree with that, and I think that's something I can work on. But I mean, advertisements is my job in the club, and those sometimes can have certain issues as well with like recording and stuff. But I don't want to dwell on the excuses. I like that. I like that. Thank you, Hugo.
Thank you, Suvir, for also like realizing that about yourself. More tragic flaws do need to be noticed. We have to be able to. Sorry, not just on you.
I was like, I saw Savir's face and he's like, what the actual?
I was confused with that.
I was confused too. I was like, Abraham, what are you going to say?
I didn't mean to do it like that.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead, Suvir.
No, you go. Sorry.
I was thinking everyone should be more open to constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we also have to be humble at the same time. We have to understand that we are flawed
Mhm.
and that we do need to fix this.
Yeah.
Or at least get on the right path if we can.
So I'm opening it up to the table now. You guys, if you want, I don't care who does it. I'm not asking specifics, but
I mean, I want to hear Jacob's.
I already said mine actually.
oh no, I meant like my.
You said by the table is open.
Yeah, I'm not picking. I'm not saying that it was about the severe pick me, but I'm just leaving it open because I like to hear a bunch. I love criticism.
Okay, I mean, everyone agrees we're just gonna like keep the whole episode just about Hugo, right? Like we're just gonna keep dogging on him the whole.
No, please, honestly, yeah, I need to hear it. I'm joking. No, just I don't care who does it.
Okay, so again, every flaw has its stages.
Oh my god, I did not expect Abraham to be the one to. I was like Jacob can come up with something, or Suvir would say something, but okay, I want to hear it.
So sometimes the tragic flaw comes from within. We notice it ourselves. I think, and okay, my point is.
Let me be clear.
Let me be clear. Not all tragic flaws are the same value.
Yeah.
Now, something right off the top of my head, and I don't mean to be mean to you, Hugo, but I feel like sometimes you get a little bit angry. You get pressed a little bit too easily.
You're saying he's easy to rage bait?
Sure.
To put it in this generation terminology.
Not to throw strays to other guys, but I feel like Jacob does too.
Okay.
No, let's focus on me right now. Let's focus on me.
It's not.
Okay, no, third though.
But again, just something off the dome. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure how it might affect you, or how this, or like how if you get angry easily, according to yourself, if that affects others. But what do you have to say for yourself? I'm sorry for being mean if I was.
No.
What do you have to say for yourself, man?
No, I definitely agree, because like I'm not gonna lie, I can be pretty. I get mad easily, but I've noticed that when I've gotten angry more recently, especially like within school or whatnot, it's always with topics that have been like of importance to me. Like whenever, like I've crashed on Suvir many times. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys about this podcast club, but the reason why I do it is because in my head that's the way to like not scare you, but like wake you up. Like because I've talked to Suvir before, just like in a normal tone of voice and normal things, and nothing gets done. But that time that I full on crashed out on him, like, excuse my French, he got his blank together, like genuinely, like he was like he realized that he had to wake up. So I know I do get mad, and it's and I'm not saying that's his tragic flaw. No, that was related to my past thing. But just like whenever I get mad, it's usually about something that I really love and really want to put time in. And when something goes wrong and I know that it wasn't my fault, but I could have had a play in it, like trying to help someone, I go out of my way to like, like make, like, I'm like, wake, like think, like use your brain for a second and realize,
Think.
like you had to do something. You said you were going to do it. now do it. Or if you did it wrong, don't just throw it on someone else. Like actually learn from it and build. So I like that. Jacob?
Yeah, I was gonna say your fatal flaw was that you were domineering or controlling. Yeah.
No.
I was like,
Not dumb and near.
what? I was like, what's domineering?
No.
I'm an English guy.
I mean, yeah, to a degree, that's what like leadership is sometimes, because junior leadership retreat taught about the different forms of leadership. I mean, that is kind of a flaw, but not really. No, it's not that bad, right? Because it's good to have someone who's like the quote unquote mom of the group, right?
I mean, but you, okay, sorry, Jacob. No, go.
Yeah. So no, but it's good. It's good to have someone who can control, someone who can tell, hey guys, this is the wrong path, Because a lot of people in life, as we've been stated before, they go through hubris, right? They get so arrogant, so full of themselves, so indulgent in their ways that they don't recognize that they're going on the wrong path. So I applaud you for that.
All right. I mean, would you say that Hugo and I running the club as co-presidents, is Hugo the bad cop and I'm the good cop?
Yeah, I mean, not bad cop, more like cop that does stuff and cop that doesn't do stuff. Hey, so okay, just in and around. Here, sir, okay, let me know. Well, they support you, buddy.
No. I definitely agree. Like between the two, if someone was the bad cop, I'm 100% the bad cop.
Yeah.
Like really, because it's like that's the only way that people, realize be severe. He just does stuff, and he's always like he's like the positive one, and I'm like the one who has to bring us back to reality and be like, we got to get this done. We have to. And I'm on everyone's ass about it, but I'm like, pause.
Yeah, that one.
And I'm on everyone's ass.
Okay, now we've got to keep it in.
Take two. And I'm on everyone about it because I'm like, I want us to do good. So I'll definitely take, the controlling one. That's not the first time I've heard it.
I want to say, I want to point out another tragic flaw of mine.
Oh,
Go ahead. Go right ahead.
Yeah.
So I think I can be a little too idealistic about things, and I'm getting better with that. Like just the other day, or this morning actually, while I was in the bathroom today, I had this I have my visions in the bathroom. People, look, so I had this vision of an ad I want to do, right, with I wanted to do like a halftime football kind of thing, not halftime, but like during practice, and so that's actually the key point. I had initially thought halftime, but when I did the last ad, we were getting up at odd hours to try to get there before the sun. Yeah, right, because to simulate that and all that. So I ended up changing my vision to practice, so it doesn't have to necessarily be at nighttime. And I think that's part of shifting my idealistic and optimistic. Like I wanted it to be perfect, and I'm getting better at dealing with the disappointment and the compromise.
Yeah, you compromise. That's good. I mean, you worked on it, right? And I think we have one more guy here who didn't speak.
Yes.
His flaw.
Now, not the best for last, guys. Not the best for
Now, so
The worst flaw for last, actually.
no.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
I want to preface this by saying, like, first I'd like to share about myself, and then if you guys want to go ahead, come at me, bro.
It's not like that.
So, I think for myself, I feel like I might have some egotistical, views.
Egotistical.
Okay.
I might sometimes I do feel like everything has to be my way. I don't think all the time. There always should be like communication amongst the leaders, but sometimes I do feel it should be my way. I don't necessarily think I have a superiority complex, but maybe along the lines of I want things to be my way, and when they don't, I might get a little bit angry, and I understand that, and I would like to change that.
I mean, I feel like that's true to a degree. Your flaw is what I was gonna say. To be honest,
Thank you.
yeah, I didn't really have much about like. What about you guys, Suvir, Hugo? What would you think his flaw was?
Abraham's flaw?
Yeah,
I saw your eyes get wide.
it's widen.
I mean,
Wake up.
I can't really say much about Abe because I feel like Abe and I don't really spend a lot of intimate time together. One
could say that.
Let's say like we went out for Hugo's birthday one time, but Abe wasn't there that one time. And what I'm trying to say is, like you guys went out for Korean barbecue one time with Abe as well. But I haven't spent a lot of time outside of school with Abe. We have been on some of the trips, but for Arupe, but those were more academic. So I can't say Abe really.
Are you saying I had my game face on all?
Yeah, I haven't.
Ooh, game face.
I guess the best way to say it is, I haven't seen you when you were vulnerable.
Oh, that's right.
Now,
Yeah.
can I? Well, first off, we did go to Korean barbecue together. It was you and Abe, by the way.
No, I didn't go to Korean.
Yes, you did.
I've not,
You.
Oh,
no,
you
you
did.
did. You were there.
I was there.
What is in the just to let you know, you ate this. You ate the noodles and this and the soup and the
yes,
spicy
I can
kimchi
only
fried
have the
rice.
vegetarian stuff.
Yeah, and everyone was there just to. I don't leave people out on my birthday, just to. But I would say I spend a lot of not intimate. Well, I'm very close with Abraham. Like I consider him. Well, everyone in this.
Platonic time, yeah.
Of course.
You spent a lot of intimate time with us.
No, but I consider everyone here like within the three other speakers like my best friends. But like especially with Abraham, like I tell him everything. Like we talk a lot. But I will like admit, like I do see, like it could just be me, but like the vulnerability thing that Suvir mentioned, like like it's just me asking, like you just telling you, like you can be more like vulnerable with me because I can see how like you do hide some of your feelings and like just like reaction to things or like certain things that happen within your own personal life, of course, and like that you tell me it, but just know like it's okay to be like vulnerable, like say your emotions. Besides, the three of them are especially like I've told them like a bunch of stuff. Like I've mentioned before in other podcasts, I'm very honest and I'm fine with that. I know people don't do that. I know it's hard, especially within this generation and within our age. But
Black
just
pill,
that,
man, yeah.
With like all this media desensitization.
try-
but not
out.
just that, but just like the more like our supposed like bring up how like well I'm gonna get off topic right now about like toxic masculinity.
I dig.
That one night I did, yeah.
But just you can be you don't have to hide from at least me. You don't have to. I'm just saying that because I sense people when they not lie to me, but there's like some things that they're not sharing. So I'm just saying like it's not a flaw. This is just like more of just opening it up to you.
This just went from like fatal flaws with Abe to just like beating on Abe right now. I see how it was a flaw.
So that's beating. Civil discussion.
I was gonna use a different word, but I forgot the word.
Well, and you're in AP English? Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, what'd you get on the written exam?
It wasn't terrible,
That's what I
but
thought.
it wasn't as good as you.
Yeah, highest score, buddy.
Okay.
7 or 3
Okay,
out of 70.
So back to the topic. Thank you for sharing your sentiments about me, and maybe back to maybe Loyola as a community. Everyone should have someone to talk to. Like for me, it would probably be Hugo.
Yeah.
And it's like we should be able.
Give me my flowers.
We should be able to express our feelings with one another.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be afraid to be vulnerable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we shouldn't be afraid to have a game face as well.
I know.
There are times when we need to lock in.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I don't think it's actually much of a flaw. I think obviously it is about balance, but I do think it is impressive that you keep your. It's about keeping composure more than anything.
Yeah.
You maintain a certain
Aura
well, okay, you could say aura, but he maintains a certain standard
of
for
composure.
himself.
Yeah.
It's like when you meet the way you talk to your teachers is not the same way you talk to your peers. The way you talk to one friend group is not the way you talk to another friend group. There are modes in which, and so yeah, I mean, I haven't seen that degree of vulnerability with Abe because obviously Abe is closer to Hugo than he is with me, and that's fine. It's just that doesn't mean that we can't be close friends.
And I think the biggest takeaway for all of this is that if any of you need any assistance, I think we have a good guy on the podcast here who has some, role. Hashtag Hugo Pacheco on the Student Wellness
I
Conference.
see him bluffing.
Everything red over
I think
here.
maybe as we begin to wrap up this episode, the listeners should think to themselves, what kind of tragic flaws do I have?
Yeah.
Do I have someone that I need to talk to?
Mhm.
Are there people that I can talk to? And then always realize that there is help for you when you need it. And I would like to thank Jacob for being my partner on this episode. I'd like to thank Suvir and Hugo for hosting us.
Mhm.
And thank you for this segment, guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's one last word. You know what the truest form of hope and tranquility is?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us.
It's Jesus Christ.
Says the okay, we're
We're cutting that. But
yeah.
thank you everyone for listening. That's Cubs on the Mic with your hosts
Suvir Khanna.
and Hugo Pacheco. Thank you for listening.
See you guys.
See ya.
Peace.